Here are 5 manifestation turbochargers I wish I knew when I was 20. What's up guys, my name's Mitch and I help people manifest their dreams. Today we're speaking about these 5 manifestation turbos that I wish I had back when I was 20. If you're somebody who wants to manifest someone in your life, if you're somebody who wants to manifest money, if you're somebody who wants to manifest the dream job, the dream place to live in, all of those types of things, this video is definitely for you. So guys, envision is the last point I'm going to get to, and that's really a major change that I had with manifesting tangible things, and I'm really excited for that. So you might want to stick around till the end of the video to see about that. Starting out with have, do, be. Now, we need to change that into be, do, have. Now, the reason that I speak about this specific thing, you can see they're inversed, is because a lot of us live life going, I really wish that I could have the thing that I want so I could do the things that I want to do and then become the person I want to become. Have you ever felt that way? Something like, if only I had that job, or if only I had done this. Whether it's an action or something, then I could continue to, you can fill in the gaps there. But that's the whole point, is we believe that our situation needs to change so that we can feel the way we want to feel. We could have it all. Now, this is the shift, is to realize that we have to be it within ourselves first, and then we start to change it. So I'll put it to you like this, just change the feeling. Now that might sound easier said than done, but in actual fact, you can realize if you imagine a feeling, imagine what it would feel like to be the best version of you, the one who has the things you want, stays in the place you want to stay, and who has the partner of their dreams. And just do it in your imagination. You will get a feeling attached to that. That feeling already belongs to you. That chemical experience of a feeling has just happened within you. So you technically already have what it takes. It's all inside. So the only step you have to do moving forward is live as if that is your reality, even if it's just in here, and then detach from the outcome. So that's the most important part. And we're going to break that down a lot more in this video. So it's all you. The reason I speak about this is because there's a oneness within the universe. We're all connected. Everything is connected. All of the atoms around you right now are a reflection of your internal state of self. So everything that's happening is abundant and full all the time. There's no missing atoms around you. There's no vacuum around you right now. It's all there. Everything you could ever think is around you on an atomic level. There's a quote I heard, and I'm not going to get it exactly because I don't remember where it was from, but it was something like, there are 15 million bits of information around you at any point in time, and you can only absorb, or you can only perceive about 40 bits of information. So I thought that was completely ridiculous. I mean, another thing is taking a look at your eyes. They can only see 0.05% of the visible light spectrum. Well, the visible light spectrum is only 0.05% of the electromagnetic spectrum. So if you think you're seeing everything with your eyes, you're not even seeing 1% of what's going on the electromagnetic spectrum. And I found that so interesting because we believe we have these full ideas, but they're minimalized, they're minimized, that's the right word I was looking for, they're minimized. And if we look at this whole point, it's all you. Everything around you is connected to you through the atoms themselves. Everything in your space is always a reflection of you. So when you're manifesting, the realization here, the magic about it's all you, is you're not getting something that isn't already you. Everything is you. You're only bringing a certain version of yourself into your current experience. And that's something really magical to remember. Moving on now to the feeling, not the outcome. And this is going to expand on what I've been talking about. The feeling is more important than the outcome. So think about this. Just think about any moment in time you've gotten something that you really wanted. You've gotten this thing or something you were really wanting. How many of you still use that thing? Or how many of you still care about it? I can remember a time where I really wanted a drone. For some reason, I was just like, I have to get a drone. It was so exciting to me. And I got the drone and I was flying it around. I was having so much fun flying this drone around for 2 weeks. And then it was an issue about where I was flying it within relation to the airports and things like that. And not that I'm like right next to an airport, I'm pretty close, but it wasn't allowed, and then where I live, I was flying the drone and my neighbors made it an issue. Having the actual thing is never as fun as the imagination makes it out to be. And that's actually this point, is fun is not had in here, it's all in here. The best part of anything you've ever wanted is in your mind, the value you've associated to it. That's where the excitement actually comes from within you. It's not in having the thing. So when you realize that, the reason this point is here is to devalue the outcome, to let go of whether or not it comes. And let's say that it never manifested and manifestation never existed. Let's pretend for a second that that was the case. Well, then you live happier anyway. You live as though you were fulfilled. Like, you're going to be happier with this mindset rather than going, I wish I had, and things not coming. So it's a really important point, and that's why I bring it up to you this way, so it would help you devalue the outcome, to not make it so important. Next is things, people, and places don't have value. And this is what this breaks into. Nothing has real value except the value you assign to it. So I'm going to give you a light example. Somebody who is colorblind, who cannot perceive color, does not value how vibrant the redness of your couch is. I'm not saying, maybe you do have a red couch. We'll go with the red couch theory. So if there's a red couch and you find it a very vibrant red, a colorblind person doesn't have the value in that intensity. Now, this is the thing to realize. If we're missing out on 90%, even if it were 50% of what was going on all around us all the time, if we're missing out on 50% of that, what's the point in being so attached to the small percentage of things that we can actually experience? Why make that your definition? And this is the shift, to define yourself however you want, whoever you want to be, as whoever you want to be. Then you gain control over your entire life. Every part of it becomes an expression of yourself. So you've got to realize that these things don't have value. Your eyes are not receivers, they're projectors. They project value. You'll see something and its meaning and its importance and everything about its relevance in your life is always going to be something that you have defined it as. So value is an assigned system. Nothing comes with predetermined value. Think about it. I think we could all agree that the most important things, the most valuable things, are not something that's temporary. I mean, you might get the valuable experience out of it, and that's the whole point, is to extract the experience. But think about it. The holiday, if you're going on holiday, you're not worried about the rising damp in the walls. You're not worried about the one globe that's not working. It's got no meaning. It's got no value because you're there temporarily. Now, this is the thing to realize. Life is a temporary experience and you are an eternal, spiritual, soulful being. Don't be attached and create value in things, but enjoy the temporary experience. And that whole temporary thing helps relieve you of the burden of ownership. It helps relieve you of the burden of a whole bunch of things in your experience, in your life, because it's no longer your definition. It's not who you are. You're something way bigger than that. You're way more than that. All of the things you want to manifest in this video that we're having the discussion, that I'm sure you're looking to manifest, you have to reduce its value so it's no longer on a pedestal and now it's actually reachable. Like, you don't want something on the top shelf that you can't reach. So this is the whole thing. It's how to bring it down. The reality is it was never on a shelf. It's got no value except the one you've assigned to it. So that's the biggest thing, is realizing that nothing actually has value. So you might be left in the question before we get to the most important part. Well then, if it has no value, what does? What is the meaning of life? It's your experience of it. So you won't remember the busted light globe at one of your holiday homes. You'll remember the experience you had. You'll remember the whole experience. And that's what's important about doing life. What's valuable is experiencing it, which means you have to be aware of the moment. That's so important when I move into Envision. You have to be aware of the moment, or else what's the point? You might as well not have a body, a stomach to feed, if you're going to live in your head the whole time. You might as well be present. Might as well be. So this is the whole point. It's meant to bring you into awareness, which is actually a turbocharger in itself. But you come to that awareness and then you do what's really exciting. So after you've let go of the value, things have no value, we get to Envision. Now you go through all of these processes and you should be left with a feeling almost lighter and realizing that things aren't so big. They're not so important. They're not so hectic. And now we move into Envision. And this is what I did to get my first dream car. And what it was I drove down to the coast to in KwaZulu-Natal in South Africa. I live in South Africa. And I was driving down to the coast in my Toyota. And I really wanted a specific BMW. It was a whole thing for me, one of my first dream cars. And I put myself in the driver's seat in my mind of having the car. Now, the way that I did that is by connecting all 5 senses with the imaginary version of what I wanted. So I said, what does it feel like to look out of this car and to see the steering wheel, to see the heads-up display, to see everything and see it? And I just enjoyed the feeling that the imagination of this gave me. And then I moved on to the sound of the car. So I love the sounds of cars. That's why, turbochargers, I'm sure if you haven't already figured it out, I'm a petrol head. So next was like the smell of the leather. And then it was the taste in my mouth of the air, just an imaginary version. Then the feeling of the leather and the steering wheel. I put all 5 of my senses in this imaginary state while driving my previous car down to the coast. And once I had the feeling, and because I realized that it had no real value, the value was within me, I realized, hold on, I already have the best version of the car. I already have the best version of this dream car. So I let the image go and I said, whether it comes or not, I've got it. I've got the feeling. It took 2 months. 2 months, and I walked into the dealership and I happened to see my first dream car there. They didn't have many. They still don't have many. There are currently 11 for sale in this country right now. I'm not trying to bring scarcity into it, but it's just the uniqueness of the situation. And I walked into the dealership and I was actually looking at a different model altogether, but it was for fun while we were passing time. My mom and I were like, let's go take a look at what BMW's done. And the sales lady said, well, we actually have this car you're looking for. It's in the back. However, there is a waiting list. And I was like, how do I beat that? She's like, well, we have to fix the one tail light, pay the deposit, and it's yours. And that's exactly what we did. They paid me so much for my previous car as well, way above its value, that I paid next to nothing for my car. So I told the universe exactly what I wanted. I wasn't attached to the outcome. The value systems weren't there. It wasn't the value of having the thing. It was the value of living it in my head. But I realized that is the turbocharger for manifestation. So guys, if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more tips on how to manifest your dream life, and I'll see you in the next one.